Ladies and gentlemen, you have all sat your bottoms down for the man of jazz, the man of love. So close your eyes for a minute. I mean it, close your eyes for a minute. And imagine that it is 1959 and that you're all having a bloody great time. You make me feel so swung. My songs bounce around like spring is sprung. And every time I see the gin, I'm such a happy individual. The year is 1959. The liquor's flowing and the music is fine. My fingers play those blues away, just like the sunny sky behind a rainy day. You and I, we're just like a couple of tots, jigging around the dance floor, doing all the sorts of things that one should not. You know what I'm talking about. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin the evening with a toast to jazz. It's been the platform to so many of my tunes, many of which you will hear tonight. So get comfortable in your seats, fill up your wine glass, and hell, why not have a cigar? I've already had 3. And when I start to play, my fingers jiggle and refuse to obey. They wanna smooth and swing away, just like the sunny sky behind a rainy day. You make me feel so swung. You make me feel as if my songs must be sung, bells must be rung, and a wonderful fling must be flung. And all my songs are so gay, because they make me feel the way I do today. And you make me feel so, you make me feel so, you make me feel so strong. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I'll be singing a collection of my classic tunes written for the modern man, expressing not only the smoky, hot beauty of jazz, but songs with meaning that enchant and delight people around the entire world. That's right, I've performed around the entire world. And tonight I'm here in Perth. I'm thrilled to be here, so I've dedicated this next song to the beautiful town. Feel free to sing along if you know the words. That's extremely out of tune, please don't sing that to me. Start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. Northbridge, Northbridge. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray and get around the heart of it. Northbridge, Northbridge. I want to wake up in that city that doesn't sleep. Go shopping past 4 p.m. It's definitely not that city. My little town blues are longing to stray and get around the heart of it. Northbridge, Northbridge. And when I make it there, I can really make it anywhere. Come on, come through, Northbridge, Northbridge. Thank you for having me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very thrilled to be in this beautiful city. You have such marvels like Dome. You look like someone who's been to Dome. Have you been to Dome, sir? Anyways, enough about you. Back to me. They say my music involves such heart and romantic substance, reflecting the progressive age in which we live. Aren't the 50s absolutely wonderful? Just last week they sent 4 homosexuals to jail. I already feel safer walking in the streets at night. Because we do live in such a modern and forward-thinking time, ladies and gentlemen. which only calls for music with the same vivacious fashion and sophisticated style. But I'm not here to talk about politics. I want to talk about love and share love. So this next song is about the evening when I met my beautiful wife, Jude, whom I've left back home to tour here to Australia. This song's about when I met her. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night. What were the chances we'd be sharing love before the night was through? Something in her eye was so inviting, something in her smile was so exciting, something in my heart told me I must have you. Strangers in the night, two lonely people, we were strangers in the night, until the moment when we said our first hello. Little did we know, love was just some luck away, a warm embracing tuck away. And ever since that night, we've been together, lovers at first sight, in love forever. It turned out alright for strangers in the night. I met Jude in a cocktail bar, well, in a club, well, out the back of a club in a delightful alleyway. I didn't know who she was or what she did, but she had a sparkle in her eye. That wasn't all that ended up in her eye that night. To be honest, I probably could have been enchanted by anyone, the amount of Coca-Cola I had. It was quite the eventful night. I had ladies queuing up to buy me drinks. Here's what happened. Susan came along, pushed Jude aside, and in came Sally Strong, who caught my eye when she took off her thong and spread her heart open wide. Now to deal with three, quite claustrophobic, when Susan told me she was quite aerobic, but Jude did marry me, and I see Susan on the side. You see, Jude and I have been married for 10 years now and never had any disagreements, which is so rare in a marriage. I remember my parents would always have an argument about one thing or another. One time my mother forgot to put sugar in my dad's coffee, and he walked out on us for 2 days. Parents, right? But Jude and I are very fortunate. However, lately, she's been going on about such and such increased responsibilities for women. She calls herself a suffragette. I find it quite insufferable. So I wrote her a song after she told me of her intentions to seek employment outside of the household against my wishes. So this one's for you lovers out there. Comply with me, comply and I will stay. Or I'll pay my dues and they might bruise if you choose to disobey. Comply with me, comply, and I will stay. Comply with me, cook me a pumpkin stew. Come hold my hand and blow my band, or I'll smack you till you're blue. Comply with me, comply, and I will stay. Once I get you trained, dear, you'll be waiting by my side, starry-eyed, to serve with pride. Keep your hair maintained, dear. We'll be serving guests tonight, so look your best tonight. Be sure to take his hat and wear a coat, you're getting fat. Comply with me, I've told you once before. The man's in charge, so by and large you complete his every chore. Comply with me, comply, and I will stay. You see, I learned what I know about love from my mother. She loved so deeply and so frequently with almost half the neighborhood. I thought people came over to look at her prized flower collection because Daddy would say how frequently men would sprinkle their seed in her garden. Despite this, my parents had a fruitful marriage, and they would always teach me about the importance of a conservative marriage between a man and his woman. Love and marriage go together between a man and woman. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, it's an institute you can't disparage. Dad was told by mother, you can't have one without the other. Try to separate them, you're in delusion. Try, and you will only come to this conclusion. Love and marriage go together between a man and woman. Dad was told by mother, you can't have one without the other. You can't have same-gendered, no. You can't have interracial, no. You have to preserve and protect the religious and cultural liberties of love between a man and a woman. That's something I learned in my 4 marriages. Love and marriage, it's an institute you can't disparage. You have a dad and mother, you can't have one or the other. Thank you. You see, my mother was a primary school teacher, and she loved working with the stationery and the children. And alongside teaching me about love, she would teach me about the importance of seeking the small things in life which make you happy, like enjoying the view and drinking some coffee and smoking a cigar and smelling the roses. That isn't the only thing that my mother liked to smell. My story is much too sad to be told, but practically everything leaves me totally cold. The only exception I know is the frame, when I'm out on a quiet spree, fighting vainly the old ennui, and I suddenly turn and see something which ignites my flame. I get no kick from champagne, mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me why should it be true that I get a kick out of glue? Mother got a kick from cocaine. I'm sure that you get the message now that she was a drug addict. You see, my mother was a terrible influence in so many ways. I loved spending time with her, but she didn't always love spending time with me. And when we did, we had the best of times. I get no kick from cocaine. I'm sure that if you took even one sniff, it would bore you terrifically too. But I get a kick out of you, mother. I get a kick every time I see you standing there before me. I get a kick, though it's clear to me you obviously don't adore me. I get no kick in a plane, flying too high with some gal in the sky is my idea of nothing to do. But I get a kick out of you. I'm sorry, I just need a moment, folks. I get emotional when I think about my mother. How are you all going down there? Feeling better than me, I hope. I'm just gonna go over here into the shadows and just a little top up. Makes me feel better, you know. You know. What did you do last night? Can I help anybody to something? There you go. Oh no, that's a candle. Oh. You Australians, you're so hospitable. I love it. And I love the pristine beaches and the sunshine and the well-established political structure. Yeah. Just yesterday I had lunch with your Prime Minister, Mr. Robert Menzies. My gosh, what a solid leader you Aussies have. He told me all about his newly signed peace treaty with Japan and how he's just given Indonesia their independence. Good thinking on his part. Why carry the burden of an impoverished nation? Keep them out of your country. We have a similar issue in the United States. I don't see why we can't just put up a, what do you call it, wall. It's not like they can afford to fly or anything. Yes, then your political system will have a bright future. That's if you keep voting for these smart men like Mr. Menzies, for these smart men roles for men. God forbid a woman man anything but a kitchen. Jude can barely handle the toaster, let alone foreign policy. Now, you Aussies, you have your women in check. I'm sure if one did take power, you'd find a way to get rid of her in no time. Speaking of which, we recently had to get rid of our lovely maid, Yokanda. She was getting a little bit too wordy about the new interracial marriage laws. Equal rights or something silly like that. That's not God's plan. Can you imagine a black woman and a white man living in the same home? No. The only way that wouldn't be entirely uncivilized would be if she was the maid, of course. So we had to hire a new one. She's actually quite lovely. I wrote a song for her. Her name is also Yokanda. Dark, her English is broken. The girl from Western Kenya has woken, and when she cooks the food I crave, I learn to love my African housemaid. All her friends, they talk about freedom, but marital rights they'll never need 'em, 'cause God's way is my way, and my way's jazz. Society would crumble. Our world's not a zoo or a jungle. God has a vision for nature. Although their rich, dulcet tones make you swoon, don't give her last name to a coon. The girl from Western Kenya has woken, and when she cleans with vigor. She knows her place as a girl, as a housemaid. Yokanda. Yokanda II was so pleased that I wrote a song about her. But I mean, how couldn't I? She was just so darn capable. And she sure looks after me. Every time I asked Jude for a massage, she'd complain and complain about her woes and responsibilities. And nobody would end up getting a massage. But Yokanda never said no when I asked for a bit of a back rub. And she has the hands of an African bush warrior. I was reading in the newspaper the other day about a lady by the name of Rosa Parks, a colored woman who refused to give up her seat on a public bus for a white man. Now the media blew up about this and said it was some sort of political protest. I don't see why he'd want to sit where she'd sat anyway. Plus, I think it's just plain laziness. It's a woman thing. I wonder how the whole bus thing will pan out. But I do have faith that the USA won't loosen their patriotism or disobey the Constitution or settle for a man of color to have any political power at all. And if he does, a rich, stupid white man will just replace him. Yeah, but you see, times are changing in the United States. So I was commissioned by my friends at the Ku Klux Club, the Ku Klux Club, to write a song for the Democratic Party in their hope of stirring the American voters into a patriotic frenzy. And what better way to do that than through music, through my music. So I wrote a song, and they aired it on the radio for everybody to hear, and, well, some people didn't like it. They said it was propaganda. And some people loved it. They said it was incredibly catchy and so fun. That was me. I thought it was catchy. White man smiling at me, nothing but white man do I see. White man singing his song, nothing but white man from now on. Never saw the world looking so white, never saw things going so right. Noticing the coons scurrying by, when you are white, why they comply. White man, quick as a cat, if you see a black man, pull out your bat. Black man, all of them gone, nothing but white man from now on. Black man, get in your boat, back to your country, back to your ghetto, nothing but white man from now on. White man. After writing that song, I thought about the lyrics for the first time, and it seems to paint a certain group of people in a certain light. And I mean, I respect the blacks. Yokanda makes incredible fried chicken. If you did like that song, you can find it on my record, It's All White With Me, which also features a number of my classic Hebrew hits, including Days of Wine and Noses. And this next song from a very challenging time in my life. Sorry, in the summer of 1921, my mother recklessly invited Shmuel Bernstein from school over for a playdate. I was just a little boy. I don't think she realized what Shmuel was until it was too late. I was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. I was white, he was white enough. Turns out, well, it was no bluff. It was all fun until 5 o'clock. I'd managed to hide my initial shock until he said, "Pass the eggs," in Hebrew. I finally knew what I had to do. Bang, bang, I shot a Jew down. Bang, bang, he hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I shot a Hebrew dog. Seasons changed and Hitler lost, and thus we lost the Holocaust. Most say to a great acclaim, but mother thought it was a shame. It was okay because I was white. The government didn't bother with a fight. They only acknowledged one true race, refused to stand up face to face. Bang, bang, I shot a Jew down. Bang, bang, he hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I shot a Jew. Bang, bang, I shot a Jew down. Bang, bang, he hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I shot a Hebrew down. I received mixed reviews from that song. My image was pretty badly illustrated in the press after the whole debacle with Shmuel came out. I received letters from every man and his dog for God knows what reason. I mean, I apologized. I said it was music for art's sake. You know, music from here. But apparently it wasn't enough. So I thought, what better way to make peace with the Jews than with a Christmas song? Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on your troubles they will all be white. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay, but not too gay. From now on your troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are white enough, they are right for us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. So hang your David star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Dear Shmuel, I'd like to apologize for the unfortunate way we ended things. I'd like to apologize to the entire Jewish community. My hit song, Bang Bang, I Shouted You Down, was nothing but an attempt to commemorate the good times had with Shmuel. You always did bake better than me. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. So follow us this Christmas and we'll show you how to have yourself a merry kosher Christmas now. Merry Christmas, the Jewish community. I must confess that the reason why the whole homicide debacle thing happened with Shmuel in the first place is because I didn't know any better. No, honestly, I didn't. My mother was the one who hated the Jews. She hated the hat things they wore on their head. She hated the way they wouldn't eat her Tuscan pork belly. She hated the way they had more money than her. She hated the way they walked. My mother hated a lot of things. But she also loved a lot of things, like gin and Valium. And she taught me about those things, and now I'm the expert on those subjects. Love's the same old sad sensation. Often I don't sleep a wink. Since I've looked for liberation, I've been on the drink. I'm wild again, beguiled again, simpering, whimpering child again, bewitched, bothered and addicted am I cannot quit and will not quit until my rich Cuban cigar's being lit, enriched, smothered and addicted am. I'm always hungry for whiskey and hate, but Jude hides the bottle when I come home late. She always bothers to raise a debate. That's why the lady needs a slap. I lose my head and I love it. Rum and coke or long iced tea. Jude might frown, but what up? And the next drink's on me. Don't mind a card game with barons and earls. Cash on the table, I'd play for some pearls. I'd gamble Gioconda, even Jude's luscious curls. That's why the lady is a champ. I like the free, fresh wind in my hair. Life without care. I'm not broke, so it's oak. I live my life freely, don't know which day is which. No sins burn cleanly, so what's life if not rich? Sometimes I find that Jude's just a scratch I can't itch. That's why the lady is a bit of a situation I've been dealing with lately. You see, it's not all fun and games, especially when you're in a passionate, wild, intimate relationship with someone. Sometimes you have to tell that person, Susan, please step aside to make way for my wife. You see, I fell in love with Jude because she reminded me of my mother, the way that she'd so elegantly carry herself with poise and gravitas. That all fell apart with my mother's various habits. And lately Jude's been making the connection between herself and my mother, and she consulted a friend who told her it was weird, and then she confronted me and forced me to explain. How can a man explain? Two strong women figures that both come up at different times in a man's life, both when I need them a lot. So I said to Jude, here's a song. It's about my mother. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I traveled each and every highway. Oh, and more, much more than this, I did it mom's way. Regrets, I've got a few, but then again, too few to mention, and I paid her pension. I did what I had to do, I saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step, as I watched mother decay. Oh, and more, much more than this, I did it mom's way. I sang that song for Jude, and she cried. I cried. Thank you. This man cried. And then Jude turned to me and she said, but that doesn't change the fact that you're a scoundrel and a cheater and a very difficult husband. And then I turned to her, looked deeply into her teary eyes, which were glistening so elegantly, and I said, Jude, that's a life. That's what people say. You're riding high in April, but shut down in May. And if I'm gonna change your tune, it'll be when I'm back on top of you in June. I said that's life, as funny as it seems. Some people get their kicks stomping on my dreams, but I don't let them get me down, 'cause this fine old world keeps spinning around. king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself passed out on the floor, I pick myself up and I drink a little more. That's life. I can't deny it. I've thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And every time I think about you, I just miss her so much that my feelings become subdued. Jude. Subdued. Jude. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes before this concert, Jude told me that she can't do it anymore. She can't deal with my lying, my cheating, my gambling, my smoking, my drinking, my occasionally bad singing, but most of the time phenomenal. So she's gone to stay with her sister in New York. It's a little town in the mountains of Norway. I have to go after her, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna follow Jude to New York. Start spreading the news. I'm bound for Norway amidst the roaming reindeer. New York, New York. I've pulled myself through. No time to delay. I'm gonna win Jude's heart again. New York, New York. I'm gonna wake up in that city where roads are steep, and find I'm on top of a hill, surrounded by sheep. I've pulled myself through, no more longing to stray. Even the most tempting Scandi girls in all New York. And when I make it there, I'll lose my charming Blair to take home Jude from New York, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, about a minute ago I realized that there's one thing more important than anything else in this world, and that one thing is love. We have to love every single person, no matter who they are, no matter what they do. We have to love everybody except the homosexuals. And when I make it there, I'll even quit my love affair with Susan to take home Jude from New York, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This is my last show here in Perth. Have a great year, and I love you all very much. Perth, kind of. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.